This morning, the Republican presidential field isn't laughing about Stephen Colbert, as we hear from national correspondent Dean Reynolds, who's in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Colbert's super PAC is now running ads for that state's upcoming primary, although perhaps not for the person you'd think. Dean, good morning.
Good morning, Erica. Well, before we say that a comedian could have no serious impact on a presidential campaign, let us remember that 6 days after a poll came out here showing Stephen Colbert slightly ahead of Jon Huntsman quit the race. So far, Colbert's effort is not displaying what you would call a light touch. This is from the Americans for a Better Tomorrow super PAC, which Colbert is using to mock super PACs in general.
If Mitt Romney really believes
corporations are people, my friend,
then Mitt Romney is a serial killer. He's Mitt the Ripper.
What's striking about the ad is how it resembles the ones that have been flooding the airwaves, which attack Romney on the one hand.
For tens of thousands of Americans, the suffering began when Mitt Romney came to town.
And especially Newt Gingrich on the other.
Newt has a ton of baggage.
Gingrich and Romney have insisted they have no control over these nominally unaffiliated groups, and they say the ad should be removed if they're inaccurate. And so too, in his way, does Colbert.
So, is Mitt Romney a serial killer? I don't know. But that question's out there now.
Colbert may have an obstacle to his write-in campaign here, like the fact that South Carolina doesn't recognize write-in campaigns. But so what?
They said you can't go to the moon. They said you can't put cheese inside a pizza crust. But NASA did it. They had to, because the cheese kept on floating off in space.
A satellite message to diners in Myrtle Beach on Monday dealt with an almost Talmudic question about corporations.
Are corporations people, or are only people people? And while you discuss that, I'm going to be the good boy and eat my vegetables.
Colbert insists his effort is less than a campaign and more like an expedition without a destination.
You know, I'm exploring right now. I'm a one-man Lewis and Clark, and I'm just looking for my Sacagawea. When you're exploring, you don't know what you're going to find.
And what Colbert has found is another way to inject himself into the race. This is a new ad that went out last night.
Thankfully, there is one name on the ballot that stands for true Americanity: Herman Cain. Americans for a Better Tomorrow believes a vote for Herman Cain is a vote for America. He's not a career politician. He's such a Washington outsider, he's not even running for president. Send them a message. On January 21st, vote Herman Cain.
Now, that just may cause a little confusion here, because Herman Cain, while he quit the race in December, is still on the ballot in South Carolina.
So, Dean, is Stephen Colbert having fun, or does he have a message that he wants to have some impact?
Well, he clearly is mocking the whole super PAC thing. Whether or not the people of South Carolina understand the distinction that is drawn between PACs and super PACs, I think, remains to be seen. But clearly it came up in the debate last night, and whether these guys are playing fair and whether this whole Citizens United case, which allowed super PACs and unlimited, unregulated money to get into campaigns, is a good idea. That's a debate that is worth having, and Stephen Colbert is having it.
Dean, thank you very much. Good to see you.